Back in the shop, back on Thurston's car here. Had a busy week. Oh, that shouldn't be leaning on my car, should it? Had a busy week helping my buddy Jeff Jones get ready for Long Beach, and the weekend before that was Grid Life. So took this thing out to Horse Thief Mile and did some shreds. Check out that blog if you haven't checked it out yet. But yeah, we're back on this car again. She's looking pretty good. We got an intake on her. Still waiting on the SLR kit, so no front suspension on her yet. Was a really crappy brake booster hose back here, so I made him this little thing to go from that size hose off the back of the LS to the brake booster size on the E36 properly without a little plastic thing that's just going to break on them, because it pretty much broke as soon as I touched it. And we're waiting on the StimTech e-brake, but today I'm going to do some work on his oil cooler. Already got it sort of semi-mounted right here with these little Johnny mounts, but I need to do something for the bottom of it to hold the bottom in place, and then we're going to try on the new sandwich filter he's got and see if that fits, because the last one didn't. And yeah, run some lines on this thing after we get all that figured out. Probably head to DMP tomorrow and get some lines for him. Other than that, this car is looking pretty good. I mean, the engine bay doesn't look like total crap anymore. The mounts don't look like total crap. Rear subframe's on the car, so we got a good subframe in it with a fresh diff. Did the diff rebuild to my buddy Rob last week. Yeah, this thing's not looking too bad. A little bit of work left and she'll be an alright little ripper. And then once my buddy throws his wide body panels on and gets this thing painted, it's gonna be a pretty nice car. I got faith in this little guy. It's gonna come back. It's gonna be good. It will be good again. When it leaves this shop, it's gonna be a lot better than what it was when it got here. So, I got the oil cooler done on it. It's looking pretty good there. Found a good spot for it. Ran the lines under there, nice and clean. Had an issue though with the adapter filter that we bought. The TransAdapt filter adapter thing that you see under there. I don't even know if you can see it. Let me get my light out. Boom, da boom, boom, boom. That little guy, that aluminum guy up in there with the two blue fittings coming on off of it, does not spin on straight. Either the threads weren't cut straight, or the mating surface there is not flat. So an oil filter spins on perfectly fine, but this does not. And as you can see, it leaked oil all over my floor, and we are waiting on a warranty replacement for that. Other than that, the oil cooler system is done, and the StimTech e-brake stuff came in today, so I'm working on that. We got the same remote mount set up that's in my car right over here. So we're basically putting that setup, let's scroll that down a little bit, that setup into an E36, hopefully with the factory center console. It's going to be difficult, but I'm working on it. Yeah, my TransAdapt thing was another nightmare. It's really annoying when parts don't fit like that, but got this thing all out. I made him some nice gauges there for his center console now, so now he has water temp and oil pressure right there on the console. Trying to figure out where I'm going to put this handle in here. I'm just about to cut out all the carpet and start figuring out where that's going to go. And then center console goes in there like that, and hopefully the master cylinder will go where the old e-brake goes, and we can still retain his center console here. It's going to be difficult because I got to get the push rod a certain distance away from the console itself, because as you pull back on the handle, the rod itself is going to come down slightly just by the nature of the mechanics of it. So yeah, got some stuff to figure out. Home stretch for this car though. I mean, this e-brake is the last step. That oil cooler is one of the last steps. And then I just got to put an angle kit on it, which shouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't be any headaches there, because I've done that plenty of times before on 36s, 46s, and E30s. So, and I know SLR doesn't mess around when it comes to their parts. So yeah, looking good, coming together. And hopefully in a week or so, this car will finally be out of here. I think it's been here over a month now. Just last week and a half, I've literally just been waiting on the StimTech kit and the e-brake, and or the StimTech e-brake kit, I should say, and the angle kit. So let's get her done, and let's make this guy a happy customer. Hopefully this E36 will be a ripper. This car is still being a nightmare, and we're running out of time because I only have about 2.5 weeks to get this car ready for FD Orlando, get it aligned, corner balanced, and go do a test day with it at the Walt James Stadium's Oval. But this car is coming along. Got pretty far on this e-brake setup here that I was showing you guys last time. Hopefully that's bright enough in here for you to see that. Let's grab my flashlight just so you guys can see it nice and clear. Yeah, this e-brake setup. Oh, let's grab the push rod too. This is the last piece of the puzzle for the e-brake right here. Yeah, everything sort of fit like I wanted it to. I cut out the console, relocated the window switches and the door lock switch to the other side. So came out pretty clean here. As you can see, the push rod comes out that little hole right there, goes to the master cylinder right here. The boot still fits over the master cylinder with a little bit of trimming, but yeah, this thing is pretty darn cool. I like the setup that we got going here. It's super clean. It's retains, you know, your factory center console and all your functionality of what the car should be. And I'm going to install this push rod right now and bleed it, and this thing will be ready to hit the road. Okay, we got our push rod in there. Everything's looking good, nice and tight. About to do the bleeding process. I kind of wanted to share with you guys how I do this, because it makes bleeding e-brakes nice and easy. I take a hose, put it on the bleeder like so, run that all the way up into the reservoir. I attached them into the reservoir there with little what are those, notepad clips or paper clip things, whatever you want to call them, and to keep them from flying out. And I'll fill that up, and then I'll crack the bleeders, and then I'll just keep pumping the handle until I don't see bubbles in the reservoir, and then should be bled. I've had no problems doing that. Done that a few times before. Yeah, never had a problem with it. Makes it easy, makes it simple. You don't get brake fluid all over the place. You don't waste your brake fluid because you're recycling it. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Wouldn't recommend doing this on a car, you know, that has like a really old braking system. You know, you might want to flush out all your old fluid first. So pump the handle and just keep cracking the bleeders. Have your buddy, you know, crack the bleeders for you as you go around, and flush all the old fluid out. This car's got pretty new fluid. You know what? I have brake fluid on my lens right now. That's impressive. Hopefully I didn't mess up the shot, but if it did, so be it. That's how we do things around here. Sometimes things get a little messy and we deal with it. So yeah, let's bleed it, and let's get this thing sorted, and let's get this brake fluid off my GoPro. How about that?
Still gonna have to trim with these tires.
Yeah. What size are those? Because he's getting...
These are fat as fuck for these wheels.
Those are 235/40s, and he's going to be running 215/45, or...
Yeah, it's just the corner, bro. It might clear.
Okay.
But yeah, that clears. I'm gonna set the other side up like that.
Wait for the tires then?
Huh?
Or should we just leave? You're gonna leave it there? And
You can set it up like this. He's
All
just not gonna go to lock.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just gonna match that shit.
Well, we got Tanner in here today.
Are you a freaking boob tuber now?
Trying to get my nightmare out of here for this car. I had to. This car's amazing.
Hell yeah.
It provided so much good content. Like
Nice car.
once well, I mean, you saw the garbage that I took off of it, right?
It's an M3. It's an M3.
I know.
That's cool.
But I mean, you've seen the motor mounts and stuff, right?
That's cool. What happened to the motor mounts?
You haven't seen those?
Oh, did you make them?
The red ones? I thought I showed them to you last time.
The old mounts?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
These are impressive. Hold on. Ugh. Look at this thing.
Holy fuck. What is... Oh, it had a bush and they welded it all together.
That's what I pulled off this car.
Stop looking at that.
Okay. Let me get the trans brace.
Oh,
Hold on.
jeez.
Hold on. You got to see what was holding this fucking thing together. Ugh. Okay. So here's your fucking half-inch thick fucking trans brace.
Wow.
The original bolts were going through here and here. I welded that on there and this on there so he could safely drive the car once he bought it because I didn't have time to work on it.
Jesus fuck.
But the bolts weren't going through it.
That's funny.
He just had big ass washers,
God damn,
like
dude.
pressing it on there. Got the scales hooked up.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I was just saying it's
Looking
definitely
good
not
here.
inside of the thing like that.
Got some wheels on this thing. All we need to do is get this thing aligned here and get that oil adapter figured out. This thing can get the heck out of the shop today, I believe. It's looking pretty good. Mr. Tanner back here getting down with his alignment. And we are close. We are so close to getting this thing out of here. I can feel it. Well, this thing's ready to hit the ground. Hit the ground running. Off these blocks. Let it run, let it idle. I still got to figure out which switch for the wiring specialties wiring harness will turn the fan on. So we're going to let it get hot and see if the fan comes on. Hopefully it does, and then I'll wire the plug. And I believe that's it. I think that's all we got to do here. There's my plugs. My fan plugs. Alright, cool. Let's send her outside. See how she works. What's it at? Okay, let me know when it gets to 180. Well, this thing seems done. The fan wasn't turning on with the fucking wiring harness specialties thing, so I had to kind of hot wire it, and I didn't have any toggle switches, so I hot wired it to a kill switch, which seems to be working. We're trying to get the car hot again to confirm that the fan is going to keep it cool. But other than that, I think this thing's finally leaving the shop. It's crazy. It's like 2:30 in the morning. Been on that thing for 12 hours today. Whew. Let's hope that fan does its job. You can drive that car home. Well, as you can see, there's not a car here anymore. The nightmare is over. Test drive went well. Did the funky fan wiring, got it to turn on. So it ran fine, didn't overheat. Did a couple test donuts that were pretty sweet. And this thing's ready to roll. After all the madness, tearing apart his old car that got smashed up and saving all the parts, and him buying this thing that turned out to be a hunk of junk, and me having to deal with all the headaches to it. It's been a long road with this car. Glad to see it go. I'm glad that it's gonna live a new life as being a not piece of crap drift car. So I think that's all she wrote for this little E36 here.